Queen here with another episode of Queen Reacts, and today we are getting to another video from... I almost said it wrong again. Sawtooth Waves. Yeah, so I still think of him as the Brody Notion, but you know what? Sawtooth Waves is his name. I gotta start getting used to that. Anyways, this is his most recent video. If Sunset Shimmer wasn't defeated. That's an interesting idea. What would happen if Sunset was not defeated? Well, she would have gone to Equestria and lost. She would have lost. Let's be honest. She just would. So if she wasn't defeated in the human world, she would have gotten defeated in the pony world. What was she gonna do? They're teenagers. They don't have powers except for the fact that they're mind controlled. So they really wouldn't have much to do. You got 4 Alicorn princesses. She gonna lose. Anyways, but maybe he's got a different take on that, but I think that's the general consensus of what would have happened. Sunset would have lost because the princesses, not even just that, but like all of the main 6, like you don't even need the elements, as we've proven, even though we seem to imply that you need it, but we've proven that you don't need the elements because the main 6 themselves are the elements. But you know what? The show always likes to dance around that. I don't even know what to call it. MacGuffin. Anyways, we're gonna get right into this in 3, 2, 1.
The main 6 are Equestria's greatest defense, so when Starlight went back in time and prevented them from ever meeting, it allowed the villains to succeed. We saw what would have happened if the main 6 weren't there to stop
We didn't get
Sombra,
to see what happened with
Chrysalis,
Sunset
Nightmare Moon, and others.
in those.
But in all the alternate futures we saw,
in those alternate
why didn't
futures,
we see a Sunset Shimmer timeline?
Because there was no element of
Sunset's
harmony
plan
made.
was to use the element of magic
Well, not
in the
made,
human world to gain untold
that element of
powers,
harmony wouldn't
and
have
to use those
existed,
powers to take over Equestria. She turned an entire high school into her own personal army
in a way.
of basically zombies. However, she was defeated before she and her army could go through the portal. But in an alternate timeline where no one stood in her way, how might things have gone differently? Well, if Sunset's army was sent through the portal, they would have had to face the Crystal Empire Royal Guard, who could have easily gotten reinforcements from the rest of Equestria. So a high school of teenage zombies versus the entire Equestrian military? Yeah, they wouldn't have stood a chance. But as for Demon Sunset herself, she may have been a force to be reckoned with. In Equestria, the element of magic is useless without the other elements, but not so in the human world. If that power carried over, it's possible she'd be strong enough to overthrow Equestria, with or without an army. So why didn't we see this outcome in one of Starlight's futures? One possibility is that we just didn't get enough timelines. Starlight only created 7 alternate futures, so it could be that Sunset winning just wasn't one of those. Had Starlight created
the fact
more
that Flim and Flam won
Sunsets
before
would have shown
Sunset
up.
kind
But
of
as it
explains
was,
it.
we only had Sombra, Chrysalis, Nightmare Moon, Tirek, Discord, Flim Flam, and that
Fallout
brings us to the next possibility. What if
what are you implying that
did
this is
see
hers?
the Sunset Shimmer timeline? What if she were the cause of this barren wasteland? Messing with magic between the worlds, who knows what immense powers of destruction Demon Sunset may have been capable of. Perhaps she tore an irreparable hole in the fabric of both worlds. The question of what led up to this timeline is truly frightening, because it's completely unknown. But that's the problem, isn't it? This world is so devoid of structure, there's no evidence for or against it being the result of Sunset or anyone else for that matter.
And the show's
over.
over.
If you have any ideas on what caused this timeline, I'd love to hear them. But as far as I can tell, there's no reason to believe it was Sunset. If anything, I have pretty good reason to believe it wasn't. Here's my take. No matter how many timelines Starlight made, we never would have seen a scenario in which Sunset succeeded. That's because I don't
the
think
mirror
there
would be
is
closed.
a way Sunset could have succeeded. I know I said Demon Sunset may have been able to take over Equestria, but she was only that powerful in the first place because the element of magic, which she only obtained because Twilight took it to where the mirror was being kept. And the reason Twilight had it is because she had discovered the magic of friendship,
pretty much what I said.
only happened because the Rain Boom had ultimately brought the main 6 together. In an alternate timeline without the Rain Boom, Sunset's plan never could
I wonder
have
if she would have just gotten
The
another
elements
element
would
then.
still be
But
in their
again,
old forms
then again,
at
it
the
would still
Castle of
be
the Two
in
Sisters. And And even if Sunset went to the castle herself, the element of magic would be missing. Remember the prophecy? When the 5 are present, a spark will cause the 6th element to appear.
An element of harmony, so it probably could have been any of them.
But this
But
never
it might have
happened
been.
in
It might have
any
had to been this one though. They didn't explain
the
it.
very element that gave Sunset her power would have been hidden. She would have been limited to the other 5 elements, which I doubt would have given her nearly as much, you know, magic. Because Sunset's plan depended on the main 6 in the modern elements of harmony, Starlight's alternate timelines were fundamentally incapable of bringing about Sunset's victory. So that's why I think we didn't see a Sunset Shimmer timeline. But what do you think? Could Sunset have done things differently? If so, what would that plan have looked like?
And also
why
remember,
didn't we see her timeline? Leave your
the
thoughts in the
mirror
comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe,
closes
and ring the bell. If you want to
after
support
3
this channel
days,
financially, check out my
and
reward
then
tiers at
stays closed for,
patreon.com/sawtoothwaves. And thank you so much to everyone who already has, especially my Alicorn tier patrons: Pineapple1865, Evil One, Gamer Plays YT, Brony Pony 880, Itawin Wu, Josie, Melina Swiftwind, Hexstream, Gilded Page, Charlotte, Petrolhead02, Playton, Ghastly Spark, Cyanax, and Yoshi Darklord, Skunk Bunk, Hound Flash, Dr. Hooves, Maximilian HG, The Nameless One, Darth Sylar 12, Cameo Shadowness, Fairfallen, and Equinox 3141. You help make this channel possible, but for sake of time, I'm moving the Alicorn tier to $30 instead of $10. In its place, the new $10 perk will be a group call with me after each video. This is the new Unicorn tier, and the $5 tier will now be known as the Pegasus tier, for all you Pegasi who felt left out. So definitely check out my Patreon. I'm Sawtooth Wave, signing out until Friday after next. Brohoo.
Okay, so what was I talking about? Okay, so let's backtrack this. So you got the entire reason that she was powerful in the first place is because of the element of harmony. Now she had the element of magic because she went to the Crystal Empire where Twilight just happened to be with that element of magic. Now, first off, the mirror was in the Crystal Empire. However, if Twilight was not there to open because like remember, there's very unlikely that the Crystal Empire would have been there. Well, actually, if it was there, it would have been still under the control of Sombra, unless the princesses happened to like, defeat Sombra, which the first time they didn't. They were still working on that. So interesting to find out what that would have been like. I mean, we're not gonna find out, but because you know, the show's done. But it would have been interesting to see who would have won first. Because apparently, I think Sombra won first, and then Chrysalis won in the scenario that Sombra didn't win, and then Nightmare Moon won in the scenario that Chrysalis didn't win. And I think that's what we can assume is like the most likely what would have happened, and then it progressively gets shorter afterwards. But with Sunset, because remember, there's only 3 days during a certain point every 30 moons that she can even enter the world, and she has to be lucky enough to be in the same. She has to be lucky enough to be in the same city, same castle, hopefully, that the element of harmony that she wants to get is gonna be at. And then it's the question of would that element of harmony even been made, or not made, but would that have been available at the time that she was there? Like, say, because like as I was saying, Twilight might not have had that element of magic appear if she wasn't there in the first episode. So yeah, very likely that Sunset would not have won. Now, in the case that everything did everything did happen in the way that it did up until like the movie, and for some reason they didn't succeed in the movie, and then Sunset was able to go through with the portal, she would have gotten her plot handed to her. So yeah, there was no scenario in which Sunset would have won. That's cold hard facts. Sorry, Sunny. Anyways, this is a good topic to bring up. I don't think it's too much of a mystery of what would have happened. But yeah, interesting video. Hope you know the comments. Stay safe, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye.